Just gonna say that some very, very cinematic music to start that out with, but I did not set that up. I think that was the green of Bevy guys to set that up. So thank you guys for that. They just dropped their new pod just today, about a 30-minute one on the situation. Because they had planned for, a regular Celtic show this week, but then last night happened. So first of all, welcome into the 617. I'm Craig D'Alessandro. That's Ray Sham Buchanan. Joe Malkin is below me where he belongs. And like Crowley, we are the voices of the fans by the fans, and I need to start the show out by apologizing to each and every one of our listeners out there. I told you on Wednesday morning that Joe and Rayshon were to come in here today and give you a full 60 minutes of how the Patriots and Ravens are going to do this Sunday at their home opener at Gillette Stadium. 35 happened last night, and a Woj bomb dropped where he said, and I'm going to quote him exactly here because I want to get this exactly right. Just the most obscure tweet I've ever seen in my life. Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka is facing a possible disciplinary action, including a significant suspension for an unspecified violation of organizational guidelines. Discussions are ongoing within the Celtics for a final determination, and his job is not in jeopardy. Obviously, things have changed like that. But one time's happening in Celtic plans. Oh, by the way, media days on Monday and training camps opening up next week. So welcome in, Ray Sean. Welcome in, Joe. How's the chaos going tonight?
Yeah, nothing's changed. Like nothing's happened. That's the funniest part about all of this. Like, oh, all it is speculation. Like 100% of this is speculation. Nothing has actually happened, and it's amazing to me that we have the amount of speculation that we've had in our Discord. We've heard on the regional radio stations. We've seen on Twitter, the cesspool that is the Twitter sphere. And 10:35 came around last night, and I myself was driving home from work and sent this message off to you guys, and it was kind of a surprise to everybody. And I heard it on the radio at first, and but again, I can't stress enough that nothing has happened. Nothing has happened with this story. It was said that he violated organizational guidelines. We still don't know what those organizational guidelines are that he went against. We don't know what they are because and Ray, we'll talk about this in this time that we're discussing Ime and the Celtics, but the Celtics have come out and said absolutely nothing, which blows my mind because there's a couple of things that could have happened here. Let's start with how this all started. We know that Ime did something inappropriate, and we don't know when, we don't know for how long, and we don't know with who.
By the way, I'm totally expecting something to happen while we're on the air 5 minutes after we get off.
No, good. I hope it does, and we'll come back on, or we'll go live on TikTok or something. Follow all of our social medias. Craig will post them somewhere, everywhere, all the time. I hope something happens during this because the Celtics have been really quiet, and I'm thinking what happened was it's weird that this came out from Woj, but nothing has come out since from the Celtics, like not a peep. So it's almost like this came from a third party, and it was said that it was going to be reported, and then the Celtics had to make a move and say something along the lines of there's going to be disciplinary action. Ray, we may never know what this is. We may never know what it is. He may ride off into the sunset, and we may never see him again. Or, as one Paul Pierce tweeted 5 hours ago, it should be a fine, not a suspension. I love Paul Pierce, but I don't know if he was the cleanest guy in the history of the NBA either. So I don't know if I'm taking his I don't know if I'm climbing up the mountain of his moral high ground, if you know what I'm saying. So Ray, this comes
up? Especially after how he left ESPN, meaning Paul Pierce, obviously.
Sham, sure.
I do think he comes from that era though, where it's like, look, these type of things or improprieties were happening on a regular basis. a lot of stuff was either handled in house. So I think that's where his premise and his thought process was, which I get. But yeah, like you said, you said it, eloquently in your opening. Nothing happened, and it's jarring, it's mind blowing, it's mind boggling, to steal a word from Ime Udoka. Um, that all the stuff is transpiring in 24 hours, and like you said, we still don't really know, the intricate details. And the people that I had spoke to, we're still saying like, hey, like, we're waiting for a statement, from the Celtics. And it's crazy because my thing is, I know you said something about a third party, but my thing is whether it was Austin Ains, whether it was Mike Zarin, Steve Paliuka, Rich Gotham, like whoever, those are all the Celtics branches. Obviously, Wood Grossbeck is the owner. You know, there's one of those guys, in my opinion, may have said something to them and said there's more to come. But I just don't know how that got to them at that time, and then Woj and Shams, put it out there, and then now it basically has everyone's talking about it, for the next 24 hours or so. Will this be a topic next week? Probably not, unless there's more developments that come out. But for today, it was something that had to be addressed. It was something that had to be spoken about, because this has been a flurry of wild things that's happened to the Celtics this offseason. So unfortunately, you lead with, unfortunately losing, Bill Russell. Then obviously the stuff that happened with Danilo Gallinari. Obviously, we just found out earlier this week that Time Lord is having another, scope with the knee. He's going to be out for another, 4 to 6 weeks. So, fans are already kind of like, man, like, what else could go wrong? But I'm not sure anyone envisioned Ime Udoka being a headline for that reason, obviously, right? It could have been for anything else besides that, but here we are, it's there. Personally, I don't think it should have been leaked, but that's something that we can get into as we discuss some other things that have happened in the past that's been either overblown or said prematurely. So I can't wait to discuss that.
There's just so many angles to this. Then it came out this afternoon, just to kind of get to where we are now. Came out this afternoon that Ime pondered resigning from the team, resigning from his post, and said that he's someone from his camp has said he's not going to. It was him, but I'm saying like it was communicated
Right, yeah,
to reporters by someone else that he's not going to, and he's going to let the disciplinary actions play out, let the situation happen, and let's see how this goes. Anyone that believes that this has all happened in the last 24 to 48 hours, this is just the world we live in now. The 24-hour news cycle has become a 24-minute news cycle. Everything happens so quickly, and everything happens behind the scenes. I mean, we don't. This could have happened 6 months ago. This could have happened during the season. This could have happened on a road trip. This could have happened, when he first got here. So we don't really know what went on here. What we do know, based on the reports, is that Celtics head coach Ime Udoka had a consensual relationship with a female employee of the Boston Celtics. And Ray, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about the female perspective of this and get this out of the way. And I don't mean to sound dismissive about that. I'm saying let's get this out of the way now because this is a very important part of this story. But from the female's perspective, without naming names, there have been 3 names that have been tweeted out, that have been reported on. And if it's one woman, let's just say it's one woman, and those are the 3 women in question, that leaves 2 of those women completely innocent, dry, no dirt on their hands, and yet they're being dragged through the mud because of this situation. This just speaks to our society as a whole, the world society, of how women are treated in these situations, where you have Ime Udoka having a consensual relationship, right? This is what was reported. It was a consensual relationship. So wherever this news or report came from, whether it be the Celtics or the woman herself or somebody tied to her, this has been pushed and reported purposefully to let everyone know that this is not a Deshaun Watson, Trevor Bauer, Brett Favre, even Peyton Manning style situation where he's just showing his bits to somebody without her consent. But, and Dave brought this up in our chat earlier, and we discussed this about how we were going to approach this on the show. And I think Dave was right. And I was having the same thought of, we can't name anybody because no one knows who it is. The only person we know involved in this is Ime Udoka. She's the only person we can drag through the mud. And anybody that wants to tweet out, if you want to have a private conversation with somebody about it, that's up to you. But so many people are so stupid and dumb and idiotic and barbaric even to go on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever you want to go on, and start dragging innocent people's names through the mud. And in this case, women's names through the mud. And that's inappropriate and shouldn't be done because we don't even know if it was any of those three. It doesn't even matter if it was any of those three.
No.
They're not the ones in the high profile situation causing a ruckus, if you will. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think first I want to say this because I hope this doesn't come off insensitive, but I think this is just something that I thought about earlier when I saw the news break. Should those three women that have been put out there get dragged through the mud? No. But I do believe the person that whoever the person is that was involved with Ime throughout whatever time frame they're talking about should be addressed. And the reason why I say that is at the end of the day, if it says consensual, that means it was two people that engaged in whatever activity. It's not just Ime Udoka. So I thought it may have been out of bounds to address people that may not be involved, but for the person that is involved, yeah, you can say their name. You don't have to bash them and slander them, but you can give a name drop. That's my
Well, why? Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Well, I mean, but my thing is, why this to me, this shouldn't even been leaked. The email thing, this shouldn't even been put out there. This is not something that to me, this is not something that potentially, if it was detriment to the team, okay, all right.
Well, it clearly is based on what they've said.
Sure, but I'm right. But I'm saying like if I mean, and I don't know what everything would fall under that umbrella of detriment to the team, unless it's speaking about morale or something like that. Like I have no idea. And I feel like it's so broad at this moment what what it all entails. But I just think to me, if it was something, we know at this moment that it wasn't, something where it was forced or coerced, like that was my biggest thing. Once I heard that it was just consensual, I'm like, okay, it was infidelity's wrong, but he's not even infidelity. They're not even married. I found it out they're not even married. They were long time fiancés, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever type thing. Like he's not even married to her. So
to Nia Long, they're not even married.
Yeah, not even married to her. So it's
okay.
Like,
so wait a minute. What
are you talking about?
It's not infidelity, but that's an important part of the story here, right? Like we're not talking about adultery, we're talking about infidelity.
Right.
So if they're not married and that's the way that goes, again, this is where the angles come from. All right. Like using the word consensual to me, Ray, means whoever it was is over the age of 18 and had, you know what I mean? Because we got to go there, is over the age of 18 and made the decision to engage in this relationship with Ime Udoka. Yeah. Now, that said, whoever it is, it doesn't need to come out because I think you're right. If this was never leaked by whoever it was leaked by, could have been leaked by Kevin Durant for all we know. If regardless of would that be funny?
Hashtag tampering, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was
that was the thing when it first happened. Like, well, what's going to happen with Ime? Why is he going to be suspended for a year? everyone's like, well, it has to be tampering of Kevin Durant.
That's what Jimmy Stewart
Yeah,
from
but
95
that-
Sports Hut,
yeah.
what's that?
No, I said, but even when teams do get tampered, they can take away picks and they fine them. They're not no
Right.
one's in it for.
Well, yeah, but that's usually because the tampering happens from a general managerial level, not from a
Right.
coach level. So,
True.
if it's happening from a coach's level, which this has nothing to do with it, but if it's happening from a coach's level, you're talking about, Ime calling up Durant or whoever the player would be and trying to recruit him to come there. Different because he's on the court.
Well,
So this is all right. Now that all this is processing, Ray, that they're not married, him
Yep.
and Nia Long, maybe, and this is from their perspective, maybe that's the kind of relationship that they have. And end of story on that point. Next point is, if he was having an inappropriate, he was having a consensual relationship with somebody with the organization, somebody must have deemed that to be inappropriate.
Yeah.
So, couple of things that are in play here in my mind. The first things that I thought of, this is not reported, this is not fact, this is opinion. Either she's married to someone important, or she's much younger than Ime, and someone found out about it and deemed it. Now, again, still age of consent, but could be an intern, could be you know what I mean? Like, could be an intern,
Right.
could be somebody that's just with the organization in a certain position, maybe more influenced by, but see, that's the thing too, is when you use the word influenced, then you take away consensual, and we have to go with the consensual route here.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so maybe somebody just got pissed off. Maybe it didn't go well, and she leaked it to Shams. Like, who the hell knows?
I mean, what's
Like,
that's feasible.
Somebody
I'll
from
tell
the
you what.
Boston. It was somebody from the Boston front office that leaked it. That's for damn sure.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like it had to go up to somebody. So maybe he was like, excuse the turn of phrase. Maybe he was banging an intern whose dad was, or mom was high up in the organization. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Ray, it's so funny because now that you pointed out, and I just confirmed it, that Ime and Nia Long are not married. That's the end of the show. We'll talk to you later. Like,
right, but that's the thing. But that's my thing. That's when I know.
oh, sorry, Greg. We got to keep going. It's only been 18 minutes. I got to tell you, just a little
Right,
here before you go, Ray. I love having the clock up there. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my favorite
it's
part of
great.
StreamYard after all the issues I had just getting in here.
Isn't that better than me just reminding you every 15 minutes?
Yeah, you're just a pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
I know, right?
Yeah. No, but I said the reason why I made sure I highlighted that right away is because we just spoke about it, right? We say, well, it's not important to bring up the name. Well, it wasn't important to drag him all today too, because that's what people been doing. They've been killing his ass all day, and once again, rightfully so. And some of it was serious.
Wait. Why rightfully so?
I mean, because cheating is looked upon badly. Once again, I mean,
All right, hang on.
I
I gotta
don't mean married, but they were still together. You just said it.
I gotta play devil's advocate here, Ray. Different strokes for different folks, baby. Some people have different lifestyles.
That's what I'm saying. That's what people were thinking of it that way. And listen, let me be very clear. And that way, so I don't want to speak what I say this for this next line right here, because you're gonna laugh about this. The fact that it was on Nia Long, he should get a year. He should.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Listen,
well,
you
I
can
be clear about that, okay? Because I was hurt for her, okay?
but wait a minute. I don't know Ime Udoka. I don't know Nia Long. I now know that they're not married. I don't know their relationship.
I'm here for you,
But I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people in my personal life,
Yep.
and just from being an educated human being who has internet access, that this may not have been a situation of cheating.
Right.
Follow me here. This may be something that they have. Maybe there's a reason why they never got married, Ray. Maybe there's a certain lifestyle. And again, this is not confirmed. I'm just playing devil's advocate and throwing out an alternative way of thinking.
Sure. And my alternative way of thinking is that the fact that it was her, And like I said to
But
you,
that's
off the air,
but it may but it
there-
may she may have consented too, Ray, is what I'm
Sure,
saying. Nia Long may have
sure.
consented.
Sure, but I'm just saying from what I saw from Twitter, from Facebook, like, and I said this to y'all off the air, and I'll say it now for those that are listening. Nia Long is in the Beyonce category for the African American community. I'm telling y'all, she is seen, she is up here, she is top tier. So people could not believe it was like, what? You cheated on Debbie was her character for Friday. It was like you cheated on Lisa for Fresh Prince. Like, what is like
Hey,
what
Debbie.
is your thought process? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where, Big Mama's house, like, all like people was like, are you out of your mind?
Was that her?
Thing,
But Ray, Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and all that crap that we all scroll through at night for hours on end and don't go to bed on time because we're
Right.
adults and we can do what we want to do, Mom. No, which is weird because I am in my basement, but I own this house. So, but besides,
It's cool. That's right.
but this is what I'm saying, Ray.
Yeah.
Those places are cesspools. And I'm taking a new stance on this. Now that I know that they're not married and this was a consensual relationship.
Right.
There's a chance this was not cheating as it pertains to the relationship rules of Ime Udoka and Nia Long is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, that's
So
completely.
she could have been like, yo, bang my husband, fine. Or my boyfriend, my fiance, whatever the hell he is to her, my sugar daddy. She probably makes more.
Yeah, well, she's well off too. But I just think, to me, that could very well be the case. It could be what people have rumored for Will and Jen to be for years. I got you.
I believe that one, but that's a different episode.
That's a different story, right? You know,
On a different channel.
but it's just like I'm just like, wow, like I don't know. And like I said, I think people, it was the shock value of like, yo, this is someone that's been a childhood crush. That's all. It was surface deep. People wasn't making these long ass theories about what happened.
Oh, yes, they are.
Give Nia Long, bro. It's Nia Long. She's fine as fuck. Like, what is wrong with you? That's really what most of the comments were. No one was giving no deep, long, essays about what he did and what type of man he was. He was like, they were like, bro, Nia Long. It's Nia Long. Like, what is like that? That's all I thought about all day. I was in class thinking like, damn, I can't believe.
This is almost what's crazy about this situation. What's almost crazy about and not crazy. What's interesting to point out too about the situation is nobody is really going after Ime from any other angle than that. Like they're not. But here's the thing. It's how this report was reported. And that's why I almost agree with Craig that it came from the Celtics and not from a third party, because it would not have been public relationized if it had come from a third party or the woman he was sleeping with, or the family. So there's just so many angles here. And but again, the Celtics come out. Sorry, Woj comes out and makes this report, assumingly from the Celtics. And then the Celtics basically batten down the hatches, latch the doors, and don't say anything. Like, I don't hear Woj saying anything.
I can't. My thing is, how do you, but this is my thing. If you're supposed to be,
None of the players have said anything.
Right. Well, I know, I understand what the players I get that. But just from the Celtics PR people, I can't fathom if you talk about we're a team and it's a family thing here. I know this because I've seen them behind the scenes. Like, it's a family thing. It's this. How do you speak about that? And then you put the situation out there. You basically leave him to get slandered out there by the court of public opinion. Because forget about what anyone else was saying. That's just what it is. But my thing is, how do you not say something? Is my thing. 24 hours later, even if it was just a small excerpt, like we're aware of incidents that happened between Ime Udoka and said person. At this time, we're going to do some further investigation. Until we find everything, just until we get our findings. We have no further comment until that. Cool. That would have squashed it right then and there. But for instance, people want to get on people on Twitter, but I'm like, yo, blame the Celtics organization. This is on them. They're the reason why people have gotten on these women. The way people are getting on the stuff about Ime, like it's because they left them out there to dry. It's not on Ime. It's on a lot of people on Twitter. It's the Celtics organization. Go ahead, Craig.
Here's what I want to know. It's been 22.5 hours since we've heard the original report from the Anon and Woj. It's been that since then, and all these reports have come out, and we have to piece the reports together based on the reporting that we have. But given what we just talked about for the last 15, 20 minutes, something very serious is happening in the Celtics front office and with Coach Ime Udoka. Because cheated on somebody or slept with somebody does not mean you're going to be suspended for a year. Something serious happened, and I think that's why it's taken so long. I don't know if it's negotiating his release or I'm not saying something criminal happened, but he's going to be
Nothing criminal happened.
Yeah, I'm not.
It was say that shit then. Say it. Say that.
Some,
Yeah, but they're not going
You don't have to get detail. You don't have to get detail, but say that it's a deeper allegation than what we first believed.
Yeah.
Cool. That ends everything right then and there. People on Twitter and social media, people are always gonna have their opinions, and we get that. To me, they leaked it prematurely so that they could see what the public opinion was gonna be. This was a rest of
No, this is a slow play. This is a slow play. Craig said it in his open. And that's your opinion. I'm not saying your opinion is wrong. My counter opinion. Media days on Monday. They just gave themselves 4 days to do exactly what you just said. See what the public court of opinion is, and then give themselves 92 hours to figure out what they want to do, or 90, however many, I don't know, math. 48 and 48, 96. 96 is good.
96 to go.
They're giving themselves
almost to go to 69.
Nice.
Nice.
Considering the topic. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Consensual 69.
Consensual 69. The number. It's cool,
Yeah.
strange. So
We'll talk Patriots later.
yeah, we'll talk Patriots later. Stick around for that. Listen tomorrow, later, whenever the hell it is. But they just bought themselves 96 hours. They're relevant right now in the middle of football season, at the end of a crappy baseball season. They're overshadowing the crappy Bruins right now in their front office. Every front office in this town sucks. Even this one now. We were praising this front office.
Right.
I mean, Brad hasn't done anything wrong. Gee willikers.
Yeah.
He went silent. No. You don't get away with this. No.
Yeah, you don't need to talk. No, Ray. This is Wick Grospec's. This is Wick Grospec's responsibility. This is not.
Do you think Danny Ainge would have went silent? Because I don't. I think Danny would have spoke. Danny would have said something.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Come on,
Danny's not here.
Of course it matters.
Danny's not here. It doesn't matter. Danny's not here. Hang on.
Danny would have spoke though. Danny would have spoke. In my opinion.
Let's talk about these other issues that have gone on, around sports, just from an overall standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, was it John Lynch speaking or Jed York? It was Jed York.
Yeah.
When Deshaun Watson did what he did we hear from Nick Caserio? No, we heard from Cal McNair. When Brett Favre did what he did during his career with the cell phone showing of things, was it who the heck was the GM of the Jets at the time when that happened? The answer is no. It was the owner.
Whoever what is something.
This is the owner's responsibility, because the owner oversees all of these people. Shit rolls downhill, not uphill. So when something happens at the bottom, the responsibility goes to the top, or to the person highest that says, anybody below me, don't say anything. So I don't fault Brad for any of this. Brad's clean as of right now. Brad is clean. This is on Wick Grospec. This is on him. And the reason this came out now was because they have media day in 4 days, and they're scrambling and trying to figure. they are basically in draft day mode with this news. Like, they're scrambling for the next 4 days to figure out what they're going to do, how long the suspension is going to be, and Ime is a part of all of it. They've already come out, and these are the little reports that are like sneaking through the cracks. The little things that keep coming out is that Joe Mazzula, assistant coach, is going to take over for Ime should he be suspended. So why was that reported? Why, you know what I mean? Like, because every little ounce of speculation that gets a little too hot, the Celtics put something out to put it down here, but they don't say anything, but they put something out. I don't see this as cowardly. I see this as strategic. That doesn't mean it isn't cowardly. It just means it's very strategic, and they're trying to figure out their next move.
Yeah, some wrong with that picture. I'm sorry.
No, why?
I can't.
Here's another thing.
I don't know. Someone slandering me. Nah, you guys speak on my behalf. Fuck that.
But no, Ray, they're not slandering him. I don't think so anyway. I think what's happening is
when a statement gets put out there like that, that's whatever, that's deemed that serious, regardless of what people believe. That's deemed that serious that it could cost your job for a year, and you say nothing, and you go wait till Monday or Tuesday. No,
what did Alex Cora say after he was suspended?
I don't remember, but I don't want to keep part 2. That's what, I don't want that. I want to win. I want to do. I'm good.
The point is he didn't say anything, Ray. He didn't say anything.
He couldn't say nothing. They knew what happened. So in other words, he
sorry, not everyone that's listening can hear us.
I can understand Ime not saying something, but the organization should still keep quiet until Monday because they're scrambling.
That's media day, Ray, and they're giving themselves time to figure it out, and they don't care.
I'm not. I know that's the angle that you coming with, but I mean, it's not you. But I'm not with that. My thing, you put it out there, for the consumption. Handle it. I'm not waiting till Monday. Right. I'm not waiting till Tuesday. Handle that shit in the moment, because once again, they probably was sitting on that. This didn't come out just now.
Do you think
handle that?
Do you think that Ime Udoka knew that this report was coming out last night at 10:35?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he knew it was coming out like that, but I do.
Without a doubt,
we had conversations, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, because to me, maybe the best time would have been around maybe in July. They probably do over the summer. You know what I'm saying?
This was coordinated to come out at this time. It was coordinated. And he knew. And Brad knew. And Wick knew this weekend when he was speaking to the media. The PR team knew. I think the players may have known.
I'm sorry. It's odd that there's no statement. I'm sorry. Regardless of how.
No, it's super strange. You're right.
I can't respect that. It's just like, my thing is, listen, if it was that egregious, shout out to I think we all know Leo. We went to school with Leo Stern. If it was that egregious, fire. Don't put it out there wait for people to say, well, he could have done it like this, and damn, it was me along. If it was that egregious, it was that awful, cut all ties. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Because that to me, you holding on, you waiting, and him facing the year suspension. This is not a year-long suspension. Like I said, on the surface, it's not a year-long suspension. So if it's something that's way deeper that we don't know, and we may not know all the details, and if it's really that egregious, cut all ties. Let him go. Why even go through that back and forth? Why let other stuff that people end up getting hurt and other stuff getting more messy because you don't want to give a statement? No, let them go. Cut all ties. And that ends that right then and there. You answer a few questions on Monday, and then cool. We move on. We move going forward.
That could still happen.
That's gonna be the most. That's gonna be the most toxic, chaotic press conference on Monday.
Freudian slip.
Honestly, I don't expect much Monday, because they're gonna say. I mean, I'm trying to think of where the press conference is gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be at TD. It's probably gonna be at their practice facility
down the street here in Waltham.
Yeah, right in Waltham. Yeah. So I just think, to me, when they get there, it's gonna be like, all right, talk about, because it probably be Mark D'Amico and Amanda Flugrad, because they used to do the stuff for Celtics.com. So They're gonna talk to all the players. They're gonna speak about, man, think about what happened from June to now.
What Celtics media, like them too, softball's like everything's
Yeah, that's what I'm
everything's
saying.
great
So
for
them, but I'm like, I don't expect, like, your friend of the show. I don't expect Joseph Pavone to be asking hard hitting questions. I don't expect
really.
that. I don't, because for one, when they do ask that about what happened, it's gonna be, we can't speak about it at this time.
Hey,
He's not
if,
gonna give
Sure,
anything
sure.
out of there.
if
What else?
Woj was sitting on this,
You're not gonna get told anything.
how long do you think Woj was sitting on this?
Maybe this is what he dropped the stuff on Durant. But Durant want to come to Boston. Maybe that long.
A few weeks.
Maybe that long. My thing, like I said,
I think
don't say at the beginning. There's no way. This is a Thursday we're recording this. There's no way he was told, or they were told this Monday night.
My point is,
Their draft.
what are the odds? What are the odds people like Josue already know?
I don't think the reporters like him.
How do we know that? There's
I
there's people in Tampa that know why Brady disappeared for 11 days, and that's been all
Sure.
speculation. There's people that know that.
I get that. You can't give away sources. I get that.
Well, you can't give away sources, but we were talking about it earlier, and this is what's so funny about the media. Everybody wants to be the first ones to report it, but everybody's given, assumingly, hush money to hold on to these stories and then speculate and come out with these things. Like Jimmy Stewart,
It's not
so well connected, and like he's tweeting out stuff that's blatantly wrong. Like he said last night, this has to do with Durant. So what I'm saying is, like,
Well, he thought it had to do with Durant.
sure, and maybe something does. Like maybe there's more to this that does have to do with Durant. So besides the point, all speculation. Nothing has happened. We're waiting for something to come out at any moment, and I don't think it's gonna. I think we're gonna be sitting here until Monday. It was an odd time, typical Celtics, to come out with something when everybody's going to bed, nobody's paying attention, nobody's awake. It was on a Wednesday night, so nobody's watching Thursday night football, even though it's Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I still feel like there's enough people.
George Pickens had a hell of a catch.
But yeah, he did, and Mitch Trubisky just ran the ball into the end zone. So, but besides the point, we're not talking about football yet. I think this story is so simple, Ray, because I think you're right. If they just came out and said something, it could all be squashed.
What
But,
makes this
but there's more to it.
story interesting? It's been almost 24 hours. There's been no official word from anybody.
Yeah, that's my only beef. Like, once again, once again, for those that's listening to this, whether you're listening to it through Apple, whatever, or you watch it on YouTube, me and Joe don't disagree. I want to make and Craig, we don't disagree. We're giving different perspectives. My biggest beef is that you can go that long when my name is on the line and you say nothing. I'm sorry. I don't care what happened. My name cannot be on the line. My reputation cannot be on the line, and you say nothing.
Well, what if
if it was that bad? And once again, if it's that bad, let his ass go.
But if he's the one that damaged his reputation, what is them coming out? Like, if he damaged his reputation, that's now his responsibility. It's not the team it's not the team's responsibility. This might be the biggest thing I disagree with you on, but it's not the team's responsibility to come out and save his reputation when he's the one that scarred his reputation in the first place.
Sure, but when you're one of the faces of the organization, Joe, just like when the stuff happened with the spy gear deflate game, Bill had to come to the forefront and talk. Your name is on the line. You got to talk about you have to talk about their craft and talk.
Yeah, but that was an on the field incident. That was a football related incident.
People were mad about it. They were outraged and they wanted clarity or whatever. So they got that. Fine. Bill gave his Bill type answer, which I feel Ime would give an Ime type answer too. Because I feel like he talks in he talks in what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word.
Bill check in.
Yeah, he talks to Shambles at times, so on and so forth. So I don't expect much to hear from him. I'm just outside looking in.
You're not going to hear anything from Ime.
Right, but no, I'm not. Granted, we probably won't find it anytime soon. But I couldn't bear the information comes out there about me. Yeah, I might have
He
talked.
knew it was coming out.
And maybe the organization hasn't spoke to him in a while.
No, they have. I guarantee you, like if they,
I'm saying, let me come from a different angle. Maybe they said, hey, we're looking to put this out there, and maybe you just said, fuck it, I'm not responding, and they said, okay, well, if you're not looking to cooperate with us, we're gonna put it out there, and
he's
whatever happens, happens.
cooperating. I think he's cooperating. I think they were sitting in a room last night at 10 o'clock at night when this news came out.
Ain't no way I'd be that comfortable with him put out the lecture. I'm sorry, ain't no way. I'm sorry,
But then
we're gonna sit there. As someone who's an educator, if something was coming down about me, and there's no way I'm sitting there acting like, oh, it's cool, whatever y'all want to put out. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What if he was like, that's fine. Nia said I could hit that.
Cool. Hey, join in. Hey, cool. That's what's up.
Maybe she did.
I mean, I'm jealous personally, but I mean that's
she was a close friend of Will Smith for a long time. You never know.
Hey, on a different note, I always thought they should have been together.
Honestly, he'd probably
for what it's worth, once again, from I think they did a movie together too outside of Fresh Prince, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I always thought it should have been them two together. I just felt that their on-screen chemistry could have been portrayed in real life.
He'd probably be much happier than you.
Yeah, right. I'll say this to the cows come home. Jada Pinkett Smith's real love died September 1996. Now that's the last thing I'll speak on that. But that's what happened. So, but yeah, they always should have been together.
Are the Celtics overreacting?
Overreacting to this? If it's
by reporting it the way they are, by approaching it the way they are they overreacting in this situation?
Honestly, I think it could be underwhelming, because to me, my thing is, if you, like I said, and I'll keep saying this, if you believe it was that bad, then go ahead and take the actions that you need to take. So I don't think they're overreacting. Once again, if he violated team guidelines, and once again, at the end of the day, it's still a corporation. That's just the folks will understand. So it's crazy. It's like, yo, just because some of y'all that listen to this don't follow the rules of your job, doesn't mean that he's above this, because he's making millions of dollars. Like that's just not. And just because you may have a crush on a coworker and want to do things with a coworker, doesn't mean that he's supposed to be doing stuff with a coworker.
So hang on, that's another angle too, and I want to jump in on that because I forgot about this earlier. But that's another thing that's been brought up, and I've seen it in multiple avenues, multiple mediums.
Yeah.
If this were a case, and Ray, I'm going to use you because you're the single one, so we don't get me and Craig in trouble. But let's say you're our teacher, and there's a I'm going to say it from Craig. I was going to say a fly honey, and that'll do it for me forever. I'm answering myself.
Oh God, I love it. That's so 90s. I love it though. Y'all love
so 90s.
No, let's go with it, Joe. No, fly honey.
In your school. What's up? So there's an attractive teacher that you work with, and you're like, hey, I want to see if she wants to get drinks or something. Mm-hmm. You guys start a thing, have a thing, but you go to work every day. Nobody finds out about it. Nobody cares about it. You're single, she's single. Even if you're not, like, just speculation.
Right.
And nobody ever finds out about it. What's the problem? Yeah, I see the problem if you're in a relationship and that's not part of the relationship.
Right. Fact.
But what I'm saying is, if you
hurry up, because it happened.
Oh, it came out? Go.
Yep. All right. This just out from the Boston Celtics 5 seconds ago. Boston Celtics announced today that the team has suspended head coach Ime Udoka for the 2022-2023 season for violations of team policies. A decision about his future with the Celtics beyond the season will be made at a later date. The suspension takes place immediately.
He'll be fired on Monday. It will be a mutual parting of ways on Monday at media day. So, but the point,
I thought this was gonna happen when we were on.
it's beyond. Hang on, it's beyond the situation that I'm putting out to you right now. It's
Yeah.
beyond that.
Oh, no,
Because
All right, I got.
talk about the 500. I want to finish. Talk about the 500.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is I've dated coworkers before back in the day when I wasn't married, and I've dated coworkers, and it never ends well. But I've never had the company be like, "Hey, you had a consensual relationship with your coworker, and now you're suspended." Like that's not how that works.
There's only one job that I had when I worked in the city here. It was like that. So if you were a team leader, which I was, they didn't want you dealing with core members because they felt it was a power struggle thing. That was not the case.
Fraternization.
Fraternization, exactly. No fraternization rule. Which that got broken all the time for people. So let's move real. But but that's another story for another day, off the air. But no, I'll be honest right now. I do have a coworker that I'm not hanging with, but I'm like, listen, if she was like, let's get some drinks, I'm like, what's up? Type thing. I mean, we all know who I ultimately like, but that's we talk about that off the air. But yeah,
don't let that slip.
it's like, to me, it's too much. It's too much. I just want a little more detail being put out there. It's not a shocker that they end up doing it because they kept teasing it, like Craig was saying. So they teased it. That means it was going to happen, which is a matter of when. Joe Mazzula being an interim head coach is wild to me, especially that he has a checkered past too. Well, I even say two because we don't even know how something media. We just talked about this. Joe Mazzula got a checkered past, like known, like charged for stuff. But I guess because he was younger, he gets a pass.
Statute of limitations.
For me, on the raw emotion, because I'm glad Craig said it, the raw emotion for me, and I just said his name a few moments ago. I'm pissed already. This is gonna be a fucking Ron Renicky part 2, and I'm mad about that because Ron Renicky was not. I mean, this is not the Brewers Ron. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already upset because Joe Mazzula is gonna be a lame duck, or whoever they have is gonna be a lame duck. Will Hardy left to go to Utah, right, to go be over there with Danny. Obviously Kara Lawson, who was here a couple of years ago, was now down at Duke. She would have been great. Because they respect her in the locker room. She'd have been great there. I know we talked about Becky Hammond earlier, but
I don't know my opinion.
My raw emotion, I'm pissed that I feel like it's about to be a wasted year.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be a wasted year because here's what I think is going to happen. Ime will be. There will be a mutual termination between Ime Udoka and the Celtics within the next 48 hours, and on Monday, they will announce the next head coach of the Boston Celtics at Media Day. Now that this is moved. No, it won't be Joe Mazzula. It'll be somebody that they want. Joe Mazzula is just doing that because he's the highest ranking assistant coach. They don't want him. They want Ime, but Ime F that up.
Oh my God.
Right, but listen.
No, that sucks, man. Like that.
But you just said it. If there are guidelines that the organization, the business have put forward that they're
I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him behind that. Yeah, I'm pissed at you behind.
But that's where the anger should go first. That's where the anger should go first. Is at him for not following what should have been simple guidelines. Don't sleep with so and so.
Don't turn where you eat, right?
Yeah, right. Did you have something else on this, Craig? Because when we went off.
He may put out a statement as well. It was the most lawyery statement I've ever read, so I'm not going to bother reading it. I think
all written weeks ago. This was all done weeks ago. This is a farce. This was all planned.
I'll sum it up like
this was all timed. Because Ray, what are the odds that the Celtics statement, the Celtics announcement, and Ime's announcement come down at literally the exact same moment? This is all coordinated. They knew this was going to happen. They knew this was coming out. They got this out when they did for a reason, and now they're reacting to it for a reason. There's always an angle. And I'm not saying conspiracy theory. I'm not saying they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. I'm saying there's an angle, and this is all strategic. Ime Udoka will not be the head coach of the Boston Celtics come Monday. I would put a small amount of money on that on betus.com. Get a 125% sign-up bonus for using the code CROW. Come on, Ray. Not during my read. You are so fired up right now. Like you have that look on your face the same night that you had COVID and couldn't remember Otis Anderson's name. The same look you had on your face when you ate popcorn while I was having an emotional breakdown about the 2001 Patriots. That's the look you have on your face, because you are angry, you are confused, you are sad, you're kind of upset, and you don't know what to think from here. You know what, Ray? We're live on Twitter too, Craig, along with recording. Just say whatever you want. Twitter sucks.
Yeah, no, yeah,
they
do, but thank you for following us. But it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. Like,
there we go.
If it was that, once again, and I'll keep saying this, if the shit was that egregious, let him go all together. What, don't suspend him for the year? Once again, there better be dominoes to fall, and I'm not talking pizza. There better be dominoes to fall if something really went on that was really that bad.
Right.
So, I don't want to hear about how people were affected for months behind, especially the women or ladies that were involved. If it's plural, you would hate for that to happen, and you don't want a toxic environment. And who knows? We didn't even say this, but maybe that's why they fucked around and had the slow start they had. Remember, they didn't catch fire until February. Maybe that's what maybe all this stuff was going on then, and it was like, look, whatever's going on, it needs to calm down. They catch fire to get to the finals, so they can't say shit then. And I don't know. If they fucked around in the finals, I don't think this would have came out. I don't. If they won the finals, this is when it came out.
Now I feel like you. Now I feel like you, because I'm wondering why it took so long after the finals for this to come out. It's been 2 months since the end of the finals. Right. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Short memory, right? We got to have short memories in sports because the news cycle's too fast. The seasons are too long. There's too many athletes to follow. There's too many channels. There's too much other crap to follow. Do you, today, September 22nd, 2022, know the reason why Malcolm Butler was benched in the Super Bowl in 2014?
I just thought it was a subordination.
So you don't know why?
No, just as a subordination. That's all we know.
Okay. We may never know why this happened. We may never know why this is going down.
Remember how pissed we were behind that?
It may be insubordination. Who knows? And I'm just throwing this out there. And
remember how mad you were about that though when that happened? And
but I'm saying I know. I'm going to be mad about this too. I'm not telling you not to be mad. I'm just saying you may never know. So who gives a flying F? Let's find a person to come in here and coach this team, not bang the interns or the VP's wife or whoever the hell it was, and go win a goddamn ring. I don't care what he did. If it was egregious enough that they're suspending him for a year, then don't put Joe Mazzula. You got to be you are out of your mind. If you, and I'm saying this to you personally, Ray Sham Buchanan, you are out of your mind if you think that Wick Grossbeck and Brad Stevens, after the year that they had last year where they overachieved, are going to let Ime get suspended for a year, the guy that brought them there, and have Joe Mazzula as the interim head coach to try and get them back there. That ain't happening. This isn't Ron Renicky episode 2. They're going to go out and they're going to find somebody to do it and take this team back to where they were.
Don't you think they're
I'll be holding you accountable for that. That's not the case. You better be right. That's a bullshit.
Hold me accountable for that. By Monday, Ime Udoka will not be the head coach of this team. Joe Mazzula will not be the head coach.
And that quickly, that can, I'm like,
it hasn't. They've already been conducting interviews.
Sure, but I'm like, but I'm even then, I'm thinking, well, I'm maybe listen, it better not be Frank Vogel. It better not be. It better not be Stan Van Gundy either. I'm trying to think. I don't know who.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's a conspiracy theory for you. Who just won the WNBA championship?
I mean, I think honestly, I think Brad wanted her anyways, and I think maybe Wick was like
3 days ago. 3 days ago, they won the WNBA championship.
Listen, I'm here. Honestly, I don't want Kara Lawson. That's just me. But if one of them come back
Bring me Coach Hammond.
Yeah.
I want her in here.
Yeah.
Sell the
So
ticket.
I'm not mad at that.
I will go to a Celtics game. I haven't been to a Celtics game in years. I will go to a Celtics game next year just to see Becky Hammond coach.
Yeah. What's it? As long as they Stan Van Gundy or Frank Vogel, we good. It could be. Yeah, I don't know who they. I don't know who else they would look at. It don't need to be Luke Walton either. It don't need to be any of those type of guys. Luke Walton has some bullshit too. They both.
Do you think?
Yep.
Do you think that the Celtics sort of talent point where they can be like a lot of teams in the NBA where their coach is just kind of a guy?
No. That's why I'm mad about that. Like they were just getting this. We only saw it for 4 months. We saw a 4-month stretch where they caught fire. They were the best defensive team in the league. And you know what? Shout out to Dan Greenberg. Because he said this. I think he was trolling, but I do think that this would be pretty interesting to see if this was the case. He said it's gonna be really dope when we win a championship with Al Horford's the player coach. I was like, I'm here for it. I'm here for Al being player coach. I'm here for that. I'm here if that was the case. I think Al Horford has the heirs of the locker room. Everyone in that organization respects him. I know that's not really going to happen, but that'd be pretty dope.
That was the first one in a long time to be the player coach. Listen, I think that
is the season. That's the year that you lose Bill Russell and you honor him by having someone that's a player coach. That'd be phenomenal.
That'd be because Ime couldn't keep it in his pants. Sounds about right. I think that whole crap about the coach not having a hold on the team is crap. It's crap. Coaches still matter in the NBA. As much as LeBron James wants to tell you they don't, they do. They absolutely do. Some are pawns, some are just put there. Mostly the coaches of LeBron James.
Right.
But you think that 2008 Boston Celtics team wins without Doc Rivers? No way.
No.
Doc Rivers was one of very few men that could handle that locker room. Pop's been doing it for years. Eric Spoelstra. Are you kidding me? Eric Spoelstra is outstanding. He's an outstanding coach, and he's done it with dudes and without dudes.
Yeah.
And Ime is a good coach. Ime Udoka is a good coach. And Ray, if it does come down to it, you can hold it against me if what I said doesn't happen.
No,
yeah.
That they want to. I'm emotional right now, but maybe
if it comes down to it that they want to Ron Renicky this and have Joe Mazzula be the interim until Ime.
I'll never forgive them.
That's fine. But if Ime gets let go in the next couple days, this will tell us that this was a bigger situation than what we can fathom.
Yeah, my thing is it better be, and that's it better be. Last time I want to throw out there, we've talked about this on previous shows. Maybe this is the avenue that the great point guard from St. John's comes to Boston, and that's Mark Jackson. maybe this is the avenue. They say, you know what? It's time. Leave ESPN. Come and get a redemption tour with this Celtics team that's ready to win, and we go from there. That would be that as a fan of Mark Jackson, that would be dope to see him day in and day out come into the Garden. Fans would love him as a coach. To me, that's the most viable option.
So what is everybody listening, watching, paying attention to our conversation? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on everything. What do you guys think of this Ime Udoka situation? As Celtics fans, as fans of the NBA, as non-NBA fans, whatever sport you like, whatever sport you don't like, what do you think? Because we don't have a lot of information. But we do know that something happened that was a consensual relationship between him and some staff member, female staff member, consensual relationship, Boston Celtics. Lots of words there that did not string together correctly. And now he's been suspended by the team for the 2022-2023 season. So what do you guys think? And what's next? Because I'll tell you what I think, and I don't know if Ray has a formed opinion yet, but I think Ime is no longer the head coach of this team come Saturday. And I think they either have someone lined up or they're going to take that time to do it here right before camp starts, because they do have a veteran group of players who can handle a little bit of time with maybe an interim, a caretaker, if you will. So this has been MTP on the 617 presented by Crowworthy. We were on Twitter tonight. This was fun, Craig. We should do this more often. Should be
Yeah,
more-
well,
should-
well, I figure out how to do it. So every time I get the chance now, before we do go, the time feel about them Patriots.
Well, you want to do that here? Yeah? All right. Well, here's what we're going to do real quick. For Sham Buchanan, Craig D'Alessandro, I'm Joe Malkin. Thank you for joining us on our Celtics TED Talk. Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Welcome to our overtime.
Yeah, well, here, come to our Patreon. I'm Joe Malkin. He's Sham Buchanan, Craig D'Alessandro, MTP 617, Crowworthy. And now, Craig, take that Ime thing off the screen. We're talking something different now. Make the background blue.
I can't make it blue. I can make it green though.
It is green. I'm colorblind and I know it's green.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you want then?
I don't know, something more Patriots. We're talking football now.
I don't have anything Patriots here. It's officially autumn. You get
It is autumn. It's autumn, which means football season. Sean, we have some football to talk about. We didn't get to recap the Patriots' victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers, who right now,
me and Ray did. But
well, great. I want to talk about it with Ray now. So shut trap. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who are currently beating the Cleveland, I almost said the Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Browns 14-13 at the half on Thursday Night Football.
they don't exist anymore either.
It's been a fun game. What's that?
They don't exist anymore either.
Hey, listen, this has been a fun game to watch. I'll tell you what, Mitch Trubisky and Jacoby Brissett are slinging it all over the yard. Sean, we had a 17-14 win over the Steelers on Sunday, and now the Patriots take on who I think you believe is the most disrespected quarterback in the NFL. I really was confused by you on Sunday, but the Patriots take on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Colts. I'm just trying to get a reaction out of Ray. He's like just sitting there very stoic. The Baltimore Ravens, the best kicker of all time, and just
trying to calm down. But
you're still trying. Do we need to? You know what? Do we need to have a therapy session before we start talking about? We did just come on talking about the Celtics in our previous episode.
But no, I do. I think it's fitting that we're doing this show because you and I had the nice banter about Lamar. So I didn't think people were going to be mature about his performance. That's where I was.
He was outstanding, and they were mature about it.
No,
there was so much crap going on.
To my surprise, people were like, "Damn, pay this man." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I thought people were going to lose their minds to say something dumb that shouldn't have been said. But yes, he showed up.
He balled out.
You know, he balled out. And like that first half, I was like, man, 11-13, 210, 3 touchdowns. I was like, oh, and I remember, and I wrote this cut. I was like, hey, just in case we forgot, like this dude's really good when he's on. Once again, I've never seen an MVP get disrespected the way that he gets respected. Oh, he can't throw, he can't do this. I'm like, well, how do you get 35 touchdowns through the air and you can't throw? I don't know. That's just me. Do I think he needs to be more accurate? Obviously, that goes without being a question, but the talent is there with the arm and with the legs. So I just want him to be respected as a passer. That's where the rant came from on Sunday when we spoke about that. But yeah, they went through a dogfight on Sunday. I guess that Miami team is super, super explosive. What I've seen Tyreek Hill and Jalen Wallen do, they should have been locked up for what they did to Baltimore. It was fucking criminal. What they did to that secondary, my God. Marcus Peters looked like he was just in a different world because they were just Waddle and Hill were doing whatever they wanted. Like you didn't even hear about Kaseki, you didn't hear about any other guys on that team. Obviously, Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert had a good showing in the backfield as well. But yeah, they got shellacked in that fourth quarter. And I remember I went to get something to eat. I came back, it was 35-21, and I was like, oh, they're gonna fuck around and tie this game. Like they're scoring super quickly. So yeah, I have to say it does make me nervous that we're facing Baltimore Sunday coming off a loss like that because I feel like they're going to be motivated to do so damaged against us, and we've never done it well against mobile quarterbacks, regardless of their stature. So I'm a little apprehensive about that. Excuse me, but I'm excited with us coming off the win. I'm excited to see how we build off of that win on Sunday. Like I said, with Craig the other night, death taxes, and we beat the Steelers like when it matters. They have not got us when it matters most in a very long time. Like I was in high school the last time I think they had beat us when it really mattered. So it is what it is. But like I said, that Baltimore game was crazy Sunday, but I'm excited to see how we match up against them come Sunday afternoon. And
For the Patriots, I'm actually excited for this game. Is Baltimore's secondary is wretched right now, so there's a chance that actually see their offensive weapons. The Patriots, actually, I don't know, do something with talent. It'd be nice.
Well, they did it last week a little bit with that throw to the back shoulder of Nelson Aguilar, who actually caught the ball. So maybe the only medicine Nelson Aguilar needed was the Michael McCorkle-Jones. Who knows? The Patriots come into this one 1-1. Ravens are 1-1. Patriots didn't play poorly against Miami. They played pretty well against the Steelers. The Ravens played well against Miami until that fourth quarter. This could be a dogfight, and I don't mean a lot of points scored. I mean it could be a low scoring affair. The thing that Lamar has going for him is he's got one of the best tight ends in the league, in Mark Andrews. The best kicker in the league is on that team in Justin Tucker. And he is to be respected as a runner. And I mean, he had a 79-yard touchdown on Sunday. So clearly the Ravens can play. And the Patriots showed us this past weekend, they are not going to, this isn't the 2007 Patriots offense. This is closer to the 2001 Patriots offense, where they're going to post 14, 17, 21, 24 points and try and hold the other team to 13, 16, 20,
I'm okay with that,
point
score.
Sure. And if the defense is your strong point, then fine. And I think the offensive coaches did a better job this week in Pittsburgh. I thought they, it's funny because I said it to you guys the other day. Mike mentioned something about the Patriots offense, and I was like, well, something that a lot of these teams have never seen is a Matt Patricia offense. So maybe we got that going for us. Here I go. Dave's going to be like, wow, you're really trying to talk us into this Matt Patricia thing, huh?
Kind of have to, don't you?
Yep. Yeah. That's where we are.
I mean, when me and Joe talked about it at the beginning of the season, though, I think before we did like a preview, we talked about we got it. Well, I don't know. I forget which week I said that we have to see something. I think Joe had a different time than I did, but
you were week 4.
Yeah, I was. Okay, yes, I was.
I think we've seen it already.
Right, but there was improvement from week 1 to week 2. Obviously, my only concern was this past Sunday was the first drive. You can't be that special on that first drive and only get 3. That was my biggest thing. I thought we were going to see a version of the double whammy, which is when they score before the half, which they did, and then they come back, get the ball, and then basically end the game. Because we saw that for many years where that's how they put teams away. Teams was like, damn, like we can't even. What can we do? Like they score before the half, they come back, either they get an interception, they get like whatever, like they find a way to basically bury you by the time the 7 minutes left in the third. Now you just hoping you don't lose by 20. Like that's basically what it used to be. But I'm okay with the adversity right now. They got to rack up the wins now because this first half and then obviously at the end of the year, as Craig mentioned the other night, is going to be tough. So they got to find a way to get wins that people did not expect them to win. I remember the game a couple of years ago when they beat Baltimore. And Cam had one of the better games of that season for him when they beat Baltimore. So yeah, so, I mean, we're gonna see how they build off this. But Craig, I know you got something to add.
Yeah, I actually wanted to address this to Joe, since you're the heaviest football Patriots mind of us here. So we're through 2 official games of the NFL season 2020. Oh my God, 2022. I'm old. So
I'm older
so
than
far.
2 months.
So from what I've been seeing, it's been pretty clear that they are switching the Patriots offense. Matt Patricia is because he's basically a baby in terms of offensive play calling, and they're switching it from the old Patriots play action to RPO style. Do you think that's something that this offense can translate to?
I think it has a little bit already. I mean,
Mhm.
what I've seen a lot of here, we've seen a lot of throws down the sidelines to the back shoulders. We've seen a lot of quick hits over the middle. We've seen a lot of swing passes to running backs. This is no different than what they were running with Tom Brady. I think they're trying to go back to something along the lines of when Tom was a young buck in this offense. And I'm not comparing Mac Jones to Tom Brady. What I'm saying is, I think they are, as much as people don't want to agree with it, maybe even Mac doesn't want to agree with it, they are trying to formulate an offense around him to make him better based on his strengths. And I think we saw that last week against Pittsburgh. I think Miami is a really good football team. I think we may underestimate Mike McDaniel, who's a big nerd, like a big nerd. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I think he would tell you that. He had an interview the other day where they asked him what it was like being a head coach as opposed to a coordinator or an assistant coach, and he was like, "I shower more." And I was like, "What kind of answer is that? What is that answer?" And he's like, "Yeah, like I'm the head guy. Now I gotta be the one that shows up and is put together for these other guys coming in." And it was just a very strange answer. I think he's just crazy enough to make it work there in Miami. And them being 2-0 is not a fluke. That's not a fluke. But on the Patriots side of things, I think they've already somewhat adjusted. I think the Ravens are banged up. And if I know anything about John Harbaugh from the last 15 years of him being in Baltimore, I think they're mentally taxed in week 3 already because of how these first 2 weeks have gone. And I don't think the Patriots are mentally taxed. I don't think they're where they're supposed to be yet. They're just on the on-ramp.
So hopefully.
Do you think that we make a big deal out of the Matt Patricia being like de facto offensive coordinator just because he's Matt Patricia? Is I think back and I think to
Which one?
our former guy. Oh God, why is it? I'm old.
Josh
I'm sorry.
McDaniels?
Daniel,
you.
Mark Wyatt, to my Bill O'Brien.
McDaniels. I don't think that McDaniels was necessarily calling offensive. Thought he was great at finding mismatches. I thought he was great at like those trick plays, but I don't think it's necessarily great at like calling offenses.
Well, I think the quarterback he had for a long time helped him a lot.
Sure.
Play. And that's fine. That's the way work works, right? That's the way sports and your jobs and your professions work, is the people that you work with either pick up the slack for what you're not as good at, or they help you learn those things in order to get better at it, to be ready for the next step. I face that at work every day. I'm sure you both do the same thing. Ray, you're teaching the future of America, so you definitely face that every day. But yeah, I think it's a combination a little bit, because I think Patricia, and Ray, I'll let you speak on this. I mean, when you're a football coach, you don't just coach defense and that's all you ever coach. That's asinine. So a lot of people that don't, and this isn't me like mansplaining or being mighty higher than thou or whatever, but you don't just holier than thou. That's what the saying is. You don't just coach a position and that's the only position you ever coach in your life. Like, that's just not the way it works. Matt Patricia worked on the offensive side of things for years before he went to the defensive side. There's guys that go and become defensive coaches that were offensive players. There's, I mean, and then of course we have Kellen Moore in Dallas, who's the OC, and we have Ken Dorsey, who where the heck is he the OC? But nonetheless, he's an OC now too, and it's just so it almost contradicts what I'm saying. But Ray, what do you think? I mean, do we give Patricia as Patriots fans? Do we give him too much flack, or is he proving us wrong? Have we after the Steelers game, or do we need to see what they do here against the Ravens and the Packers?
Oh no, we still need to see a few more. Like I'm not I was pleased with the improvement. There was slight improvement from week 1 to week 2, but there's still improvements that need to be made. Like I said, that first drive against Pittsburgh was great from the play calling perspective. Seemed like they ran it well when they needed to. The offensive line was much better in week 2 than they were. So that was pleasing. But no, I think we need to see it a little bit more. So I like to see how they do it at home. I want to see how they produce at home. They sucked at home last year. This because you were there up close and personal. You've seen it. Outside of the Jets game when they put a 50 on them, but in Tennessee as well. But it's just like, come on, like you got to protect, Patriot plates. You got, I mean, what is Patriot plates? But you got to protect Gillette. But no, I think but we definitely have to see more from him. But as long as there's slight improvements every week, I'm fine with that. I don't need them to be an offensive scorer in 90 seconds. That'd be nice to see. You don't need to be a great show on turf. Just get the job done. That's all I care about. Find a way to find more times than not to get 7 more than you get 3.
And that's what Bill's mantra has been for so many years. Let's just, of course, sometimes he has those revenge games and those games where he's just pissed off, like when they beat Tennessee 59-0 in the snow in 2007.
We talked about that on Wednesday.
Yeah. See, it's like I know what you guys we're talking about already. It's amazing where my brain goes in terms of Patriots history. I like this matchup for the Patriots, and maybe this is me being a homer. I'm excited to go down to the stadium, tailgate with my dad, and hang out and drink some beers and yell and scream and watch football. Like, I'm excited for it. But I think this Ravens team is really good. But on any given Sunday, great movie, by the way. On any given Sunday, anything can happen. So why not us? And there have been many times where Bill has had John Harbaugh's number. And hopefully this is one of those weeks. I think the Patriots did start to make a turn around the corner last week. Not that they were going to go 0-17, but if you ask a lot of people, some realistic, some not unrealistic, if they were going to be 1-1 at this point in the season, I think some people would tell you, hell no. But after seeing that Miami team, they should have been 0-1 after week 1. That's a good Miami team. Miami and Buffalo are going to be forces to reckon with this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that game Sunday. I can't wait.
Oh, they play this Sunday, Miami and Buffalo?
Yeah.
Where is that? Is that in Miami?
I think it's at Buffalo.
It's at Hard Rock. It's at Hard Rock. No, it's at Hard Rock.
Oh, it's at Hard Rock? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It would be even better if it was the game in Miami is going to be wild. It's going to be wild.
It is. I like to say, as someone who likes, I was out there
in Buffalo.
That stadium is going to be Hard Rock. When I say when they're doing well, it's going to be it's a party as much as it is on the outside as it is on the inside. Believe me, it's going to be rock.
You can do that when it's 75 degrees or warmer every day.
Yeah. You get your next little slushy from Sonic across the street.
Yeah, that's the second time you mentioned. Not a sponsor. I would love a Sonic slushie.
I would. I miss it. There's no Sonic up here in Massachusetts, though.
There is. Yeah, go all the way westbound now.
There's one up in Peabody on the North Shore, I think, still, and there's one down.
Peabody's close enough. I could get to Peabody.
Yeah, there's one down in North Smithfield, Craig. In Rhode Island.
I thought you have to go like all the way to Springfield.
No, there's one in Stoughton too. There you go. So if you're in Massachusetts, in the Boston metro area or in the Providence metro area, you have now been given the locations of the Sonics in the area. Right. Not a sponsor, though. Sonic, you have a great marketing campaign. Listen, if you want to sponsor us, you can reach out to Craig on Twitter at Craig at CraigMyFM. Or on our website, mtpshow.com.
There you go, yeah.
And crowworthy.com, of course.
And crowworthy.com. And before we know it, Craig will have his own empire or website. And you can bet it on betus.com, get a 125% sign-up bonus using code CROW, link in the description. There you go, Craig. You don't even have to do anything now. I've done your job for you.
Thank you.
I'm buzzed.
All right, so
Ray's got me fired up about the Patriots. So what do you want to ask, Craig?
well, no, I think we're just about done here. Well, okay.
Fuck me.
I mean, we didn't even get the score prediction for Sunday, but
I was about to ask. I want two things, which I think one's going to evolve more into a conversation than another. I want Sunday, and I want to hear Vince Wilfork going to the Patriots Hall of Fame this weekend.
I mean, we talked about it. I'll let you talk about that first, Joe.
Right.
So my score prediction for the game, I think it's going to be a close one. I think the Patriots pull this one out. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points, but I think the Patriots will be able to neutralize Lamar this weekend, and hopefully keep Justin Tucker out of field goal range. Actually, no, he's kicking for me in fantasy. They can score as many points on field goals if they want. I'm gonna go 24-17 Patriots. And in terms of Vince Wilfork being inducted into the Hall of Fame on Saturday, and then they'll have another ceremony on Sunday, which I can't wait to be a part of. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's really interesting to think about the guys that I've seen their entire careers of, right? Like, I'm now of that age where I remember the entirety of Tom Brady, of Vince Wilfork, of Julian Edelman, of Rob Gronkowski. We remember the careers of these guys now because we've been around long enough. The Troy Browns of the world, and Teddy Bruschi's even. And it's so interesting because I almost can remember the careers of guys that weren't on this team better than I can of guys that were. And I don't know why that is. But Vince Wilfork to me is one of those guys that I don't know if he deserves to be in Canton, but I sure as hell know that he deserves to be in the Hall at Patriot Place for what he did for this organization, for what he did for this fan base, for what he did for children and underrepresented youth and underrepresented groups in this city and in this area. He used to throw his draft party at Pins in Milford,
Yep.
which is a bowling alley. Free plug. Pins, not a sponsor, but if you get more people and they come in and go, we heard about you on MTP on this 617 presented by Crowworthy, Joe Malkin said your name, just reach out to me. I got a couple kids, they might want some money into the arcade.
It's funny you say that because I put out a poll yesterday. 170 responses. I asked, is Vince Wilfork Pro Football Hall of Famer, not a Patriots Hall of Famer? 95% of the people said yes.
Sure, I'm a little more close to the like 60-40, 65-35 range. He's got the rings, and this isn't a slight at Bobby. I feel like I have to preface this. If Troy Aikman's in, Vince Wilfork should be in. Like,
Yeah,
but
was he the best at his position for a number of years?
Yeah.
Okay, so that alone, plus he won. That's a no brainer.
Plus, he was a philanthropist, and like him and his wife, like I was saying,
right?
so
That's the thing.
draft party.
When you culminate that all together,
Yeah,
of course it is.
Yeah. And it was all to raise money, and he lived in Franklin, Mass, and I don't believe he's there anymore. But
no, he moved. Yeah.
And a lot of people that we know knew him and would see him around town and on other areas, and nothing but a model citizen. Yeah, Ray, you kind of swayed me. I mean, he was the best nose tackle for a number of years in a time in the sport where his position mattered.
Right.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, and he 100 million% deserves to be in the Hall of Patriot Place. That 75 jersey should be hung up. Also,
have you seen him lately?
Yeah, I just saw the clip you told me about, Greg.
I'm gonna see him on Sunday.
It was great.
He lost like 100 pounds.
That's what happens to these guys. Remember, like Jeff Saturday, he was the center for Peyton Manning. It looks phenomenal. So
it was like Jeff Saturday retired, and a week later he was on ESPN. It was like, is that Jeff Saturday?
Right.
Listen, these guys, when they stop doing what they, I wish I could do it.
And me too.
Well, remember,
I don't know. Maybe maybe they were on eugenics with Doug Flutie.
They still have the leads once they retire to get it really right. You know what I'm saying? So that helps. It helps.
So Ray, what do you think about Vince in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, I think he's first ballot. I think that he should be. He's I love that he's going into the Patriots Hall of Fame. You know, we talked about a whole slew of other Patriots, former Patriots that were up for next year. So you can go back and listen to that. You know, that could be in the show notes. But yeah, he's deserving. Once again, when you're the best at your position for a number of years, and you were a key contributor to winning, it's a no brainer that you deserve. Once again, not no scandal, no always gave 110% every time he was on the field. You know, I remember, you know, some of the fumble recoveries. I remember some of the interceptions. You know, he was an even bigger BJ Raji, right? So I was showing me what you got, Raji. You know, I was like, you know, like he was our BJ Raji before, you know, this guy double check was a thing. You feel me? So
BJ Raji. I remember BJ Raji.
yeah, shout out to Boston College too. That's cool, you know. So, yeah, so you know, so
a lot of Boston College guys end up in Green Bay.
they do. Him, AJ Dillon, yeah, right. That's true. Yeah. That's just what they do up there. But yeah, so yeah, I'm proud of his career. One of my favorite Patriots of all time, and it's deserving. And as far as the score, I didn't give a score for Sunday. I do think the Ravens win Sunday. I think they win 20-17. I think that it'll go back and forth, as Joe said, more of like a dogfight, and then you know Lamar's gonna make a play late. You're like, this is why he's who he is. And we'll just have to gather ourselves against Green Bay in week 4. But yeah, I think that you know Baltimore wins 20-17. Once again, I want to be proven wrong. So if you're in the comments and say, "Oh, he doesn't know anything," great. Yep, I don't know anything. Yes, we won. I'm not mad about it. Not gonna be mad about it when we win it, but I also want to give realistic takes in my mind and be subjective, not objective. So, yeah, I got Baltimore winning 2017, and I hope that I'm proven wrong.
Go ahead.
Sorry. So we didn't get your thoughts on this the other night because you were, you know, busy doing stuff.
Yeah, working.
24 former Patriots announced the finalists for the Hall of Fame. I just want to go through real quickly, see if you think any of these are actually Hall of Famers. You can say yes or no as I read them. So announced for this year's candidacy for Hall of Fame. I'm not saying they're getting in. We'll see. Troy Brown.
Yeah, no.
Larry Centers.
No. Ben Coates? Maybe.
Corey Dillon.
Yes, but not as a Patriot.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. I was like, wait a minute, man. Okay, you said a lot of it. Continue. Okay, continue.
A lot of these are going to be yes. We talked about this the other night. A lot of these are going to be yes, but not as a Patriot. So, like,
right. Well, why you said that? I'm like,
Hilliard.
Who?
Irving Fryer.
Irving Fryer. Yeah, Irving Fryer was a top receiver on some bad Patriots teams.
Yep.
Yeah, him and Stanley Morgan. I think he will get in. I don't know if it'll happen this year.
Here's one you were rather excited about in 2008. I remember this. Torrey Holt.
Yeah, he's a Ram though. He'll always be a Ram. He forever he was here with the Patriots, but he will forever be part of the greatest show on turf.
Steven Jackson.
Yeah, but not as a Patriot.
Johnson. Patriot.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Logan Mankins.
Yes, as a Patriot.
Yeah. Fred Taylor.
Borderline as a Jaguar.
Really?
Brian Waters.
Wow. Okay.
Waters.
No.
Love Brian Waters.
I know.
But no.
Reggie Wayne.
Well, definitely not as a Patriot. He was only here for a half a cup of water. He didn't have coffee. He just went to the water cooler and said, "I'm out." Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Colt.
The final offensive nominee, Wes Welker.
Yeah, because he was better than Julian Edelman. He's a Hall of Famer.
See, yeah, I thought it's almost like he was on the show with us. And I said, "Hey, the same thing." I'm a little surprised with the Fred Taylor borderline thing. I mean, when he was in Jacksonville, he was special there. Yeah, he was with us. He was with us for a cup of tea and didn't do well up here. But
I think it's going to come down to with him. It's going to come down to the fact that there's a lot of guys on that list that were outstanding beyond special. Like Fred Taylor was special. Like if you think of him as a running back in the NFL, he was absolutely special. But there's a guy like Chad Johnson who never won a Super Bowl, but boy, could he fly, and was he just a Swiss Army knife as a receiver. Dude could kick extra points. He did. I mean, so could Wes Welker. But Wes has the rings to show for it.
Yeah.
Where Chad Johnson doesn't. But I think Chad Johnson is closer to Canton than Fred Taylor. But Fred Taylor did play on some good Jaguars teams, which sounds weird. He played on some good Jaguars teams, they never finished it off, and they had the opportunity to multiple times. Again, they had to get through the Patriots too on multiple occasions.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch to defense because I think this one's a lot more interesting than the offense one, to be honest with you. Chad Brown. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Eddie Bruschi. Ian Ray both said no.
Yeah, I said no.
Yeah. He's already in the Patriots Hall of Fame. I think for what he was as a linebacker, and I think for who he was as a person, I think, and I don't mean this in a negative way, I think the stroke during his career and him coming back from that is going to help his case. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
It's like, get out of we are legitimately saying, like, let's just say the same thing. I would just said it on Twitter. Right. It was like, I was like, the stroke may help him what he went through physically. Like that's so wow. That's
right. It's like Remember the Titans. It's when Bertier got in the car crash, and then who was the black main character? I can't remember his name.
Julius, yeah.
And Julius went into the hospital, and they were like, "Oh, family only," and he was like, "He's my brother. Can't you see the resemblance?"
Right. All right. James Harrison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steeler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As a Steeler, absolutely. What 3 million% he's a Steeler.
Yeah. All right. So I can already feel Raycon's asshole tightening up because the other night, Rodney Harrison. Same thing.
Don't upset me.
He is.
Yeah,
he is, and he could have his pick. And I mean, it's not how it works, but if it did work, like you could pick which team. Obviously, I don't know if he ever signed a one-day contract with San Diego before he retired, or if he did it or if he just retired as a Patriot. Yeah, man, he's got a couple Super Bowls, and he was part of a defense that was fantastic for this Patriots team.
Yep.
And
God rest his soul, but Julius Sayre would have said he's a Hall of Famer too had he been alive. He would have said it.
Who would have said who?
Julius Sayre would have said Harrison's a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, Rodney Harrison's a Hall of Famer. I'm not sold on Willie.
Really? Next one should be easy. Revis.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Did he win a Super Bowl wherever he won? Did he win a Super Bowl here?
Yeah,
here in 2014. Yeah.
For a year. He was a mercenary here.
Yeah,
he
he's
won.
a jet.
Right?
Yeah, he was a jet.
He was a jet.
Here's another fucking
year.
The last interesting one because after this is Vince Wilfork and Adrian Wilson. I really don't want to talk about them. Asante.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer. Who, again, let's look at Sport Track because whoever he's got a contract with right now is who he's gonna go in with. Whoever his last contract was with. He was outstanding for the Falcons, and he was outstanding here too. He was outstanding for the Eagles. I mean, he was just he was another guy. He was like a Revis. He was a mercenary. He was Revis before Revis was Revis.
Right.
Asante Samuel is a Hall of Famer.
And obviously we went to Vince Wilfork. Adrian Wilson.
Easy, yes. Adrian Wilson. No.
As a Cardinal, sure. I think Cardinal.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the career was there. I mean, he could definitely. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing about the Hall of Fame, right? You can make a case for every single one of those guys. You can make a case.
Mhm.
There's just some that are just James Harrison. I mean, Darrelle Revis. There's just some guys you can't say no to.
No.
All right, boys.
Well, that was very anticlimactic.
I'm sorry, but we've already been on the air for an hour and 35 minutes. I think that's enough for.
Are you gonna split these, or are we gonna make this one? What are you gonna do? I think we can split this because it'll be about a 36 minutes. I mean, we can drag this out a little bit. What else you guys want to talk about? What's going on? You know, Red Sox suck.
Right.
Bruins front office is friggin' terrible.
But they did let Zenichar, we talked about the other night, let him come back on a 1-day deal.
Oh yeah, that was good. If that didn't happen, this city would have gone over there and torn the offices apart.
I mean, their first preseason game is this coming Tuesday. I'll be there, working it. So we'll see what they look like.
Yeah, if you're ever at the Garden, look for Ray. You've seen him, so you know what he looks like. Go look for Ray.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Bree met me. Bree that was a guest on the show. Like that's how she met me. And yeah, she went with the Garden. She came on. So yeah. So I'm here. I'm around.
But I think we touched on that. Where we got the Ime Udoka stuff in. I knew it was going to happen while we were on the air. I'm happy we did that. We touched on our Patriots as well. We'll have more on that next week here on the 617. But I believe, gentlemen, I gotta get ready for a wedding tomorrow. So I gotta.
Hey, you getting married?
Yeah,
good, because I would expect to have gotten
everybody right. I'm like,
let me guess, it's in the mail.
Yeah, you don't get that bullshit. Yeah,
right, Johnny. You don't want the chicken on that one too?
Of course. What kind of instance? Of course. What kind of question is
Yeah, but you're not gonna Uber to that one. Someone's gonna drive you there. All right.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Whenever I say to Mike, where's my invitation? You just got to be like, hey, and Mike, I'm on my way. I'll be there soon.
In the mill. So no, that's good. But no, I expect the six of us to be reunited on my wedding day at the least. So
I think the next wedding, whichever one of us gets married that we're actually invited to, because none of us went to Dave's wedding, and none of us went
to going to California.
They
can fly out here to my wedding.
And Bobby hasn't gotten married yet. I've been married for 6 years already.
But I was in Miami. You got married, so it was different. I was in Miami.
Yeah, that was different. Yeah, Bobby's probably the closest, but who knows if they'll ever get married. So, Craig, you might be the closest. So, next person to get married, we're gonna do a live show from the wedding, and whoever it is, don't do what my wife and I did, and I'm lumping myself in because our venue, we needed to get it. And the last date that we could get was on a Sunday in the middle of football season. And I missed a home game where the Patriots beat the Bengals. And while it was sad that I missed the game, it was a wonderful day. I remember all of it, though my wife doesn't believe me. Just don't. This is my PSA for the day. This is my signing off PSA. Don't have your wedding in a season on a day when there is something important to you going on. Make sure that the thing that you're focusing on is your future partner. It's forever. Well, 49% of the time forever. Or just do what Ime does and not get married. So if you sleep with somebody, you're only violating team guidelines and not the sanctity of marriage. Smart man. Between him and Derek Jeter. Like, are you kidding me? Smart guys. Here we are talking about how him and Nina are married. And they're not even married.
Crazy.
Anyway.
Nia Long, I love you. That's how I'm signing off. I love you, Nia Long.
Not a sponsor, but if she wants to be.
Yeah, sponsor me, baby. I love
you. Won Fly Honey. Craig, what else did you have to say?
That's it. Get out of control.
I was in your wedding, and I know for a fact we were in the kitchen waiting to come out for the actual, I guess, the procession, whatever you call it.
The ceremony, yeah.
The ceremony, yeah. And You talk about I missed the game, but you were right there in that tiny ass little television we had in the kitchen, just watching that game happen.
I was basically like a commercial for like the NFL or something. I'm standing there with my eyes glued to it, and we won. It was a great day. It was a great day. I got married, and the Patriots won.
You bawled like a baby.
I did. It was a great day, and that's what you should do.
To be fair, your wife looked fantastic.
Some things never change, Craig. I hope she listens to this episode. She's right above me, but she's probably sleeping. Anyway, yes, Craig, let's get you out of here so you can edit these episodes, decide what you want to do with them. Ime Udoka, you dog. Go Patriots. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Craig, you sign it off.
All right, so for Ray Sham Buchanan, for Joe Malkin, for myself, Craig Alessandro, this has been another episode of the 617 brought to you by Crowworthy. Green with Family put out an episode just before we came on. Go on and listen to them. I'll leave them links down below if you're listening on the podcast. If you're on YouTube, I'm sorry for you to see our faces today, but you know, is what it is. So for Ray Sham Buchanan, for Joe Malkin, I'm Craig Alessandro. We'll talk to you next week.